in this video we're going to actually tackle all of the beginner problems. So as we go through this video, what I want you to do is to pause the video after the problem is explained and attempt to write these programs on your own. Unpause the video and then I'll actually show you the solution code for each problem. So the first problem says when the green flag is clicked, make your sprite say hello world. So pause the video now. Okay, make your sprite say hello world. First step will be to go to the Events tab, and we're going to drag the when the green flag is clicked block to our code stage. Next will be to go to the Looks tab, and we're going to drag the say block, snap it onto the green flag is clicked block. We're going to change what the cat says to hello world. We're going to run our program with the green flag. It says hello world. Alright, the second problem says when the green flag is clicked, make your sprite move 10 steps. So pause the video now and attempt this one on your own. Okay, to make our cat move 10 steps, we're going to drag the when the green flag is clicked code block into our code stage. We're going to go to the Motion tab, since we're making our cat move, and drag the move 10 steps block into our code stage, snap it together. So when we click the green flag, our cat should move 10 steps. Alright, the third video is, when the green flag is clicked, make your sprite move 50 steps. So pause the video now and attempt this program on your own. Okay, to make our cat move 50 steps, we're going to drag the when the green flag is clicked code block over to our code tab, and go back to Motion, and we're going to drag the move block, snap it on our green flag is clicked block. Now we're going to change the number of steps the cat moves by clicking in there, typing in 50. I'm going to go back to the green flag. Now our cat should move, but move quite a bit further this time. Alright, problem number 4 says when the space bar is pressed, so a different start to this program. When the space bar is pressed, make your sprite move 30 steps backwards. So pause the video here and try this program on your own. Okay, so the first step is go back to the Events tab. This one's a little different because we have a different key that is starting off our program. So instead of having this code block that says when the green flag is clicked, begin, we're going to have this code block that says when the space key is pressed, begin. So I'm going to drag that over there. Now we want him to move 30 steps backwards, so I'm going to go to our Motion tab since we're making a move. But what we notice is there is no code block for moving backwards. So maybe you have kind of an idea that if this number here is 10, he moves 10 to the right. So it might be intuitive that if we change this to a negative number, the cat will move backwards. So a positive number will say move in the direction you're facing, or in this case move to the right. A negative number will actually move backwards, so the opposite direction of the cat's facing. So I'm going to start our program. Notice how when I click the green flag this time, nothing happens. This is because the space bar actually starts this program. So now when I hit space, the cat moves backwards. Alright, number 5 says, make your sprite turn 45 degrees when the space bar is pressed. So you should pause the video now and attempt this program on your own. Okay, to make our sprite turn 45 degrees, we're going to drag a code block to start it, so when the space key is pressed. Now, we're still moving our sprite. He may not be moving forward, but he is still moving, so I'm going back to the Motion tab, and I'm going to drag the turn 15 degrees block into our program. Here we want him to turn 45 degrees, so I'm going to change this number to 45. Start our program, hit the space bar, and our cat should turn 45 degrees every time the spacebar is pressed. Alright, the next program says to remove the cat sprite and add a sprite of your choosing. So pause the program now and attempt this on your own. Alright, right now we have a cat sprite, but there's actually a whole bunch of other sprites that Scratch has in their sprite library that we can use. We don't have to just be stuck with the cat. So down here in the sprite stage, I'm going to click on the icon that says New Sprite. So here are all the sprites that Scratch has available to you. They're categorized, people, things, transportation, they have themes, all types of things. Let's see, I'll go back to there. I'll choose a baseball. So select it, click OK, and there we go. We now have a new sprite in our program. Alright, as we saw before, you can add your own sprites to a program. So click on New Sprite. I'm going to add a bat. A crucial thing to know is that each sprite has its own code. So I'm going to add a piece of code to the bat that it should say hello when the program started with the green flag. So as you'll notice, if I click the green flag, the bat says hello. However, the cat does not. That is because the cat does not have any code there. So each sprite will have its own code and will do whatever you program it to do inside its code block there. Alright, the last challenge is to make your sprite draw a line 90 steps long when the right arrow is pressed. So you should pause the program, or pause the video now, and try this program on your own. Alright, so the first step is to add a block of code to get the program started. This one's going to start when the right arrow is pressed. So as we notice, there is no code block specifically that starts the program when the right arrow is pressed, but this code block does have options. So right now the space bar is pressed, will start this program, but if we click the drop down box there, little arrow pointing down, there are all the other options for keys that will start the program. So we're going to select right arrow. So now this program will start when the right arrow is clicked. We want to draw a line 90 steps long. So over here in the pen tab are some tools that will actually allow your sprite to draw. The solution for this will involve the pen down code block. So think of this as like actually putting your pen down on paper. So when you drag this code block in there, right now this sprite has a pen that is touching the sprite stage. So anything that this sprite does, or any motion that the sprite has, will draw a line along with it. So I'm going to now drag in a motion block. It says move 90 steps. So when I start my program and click the right arrow, there our sprite draws a line 90 steps long.